This is the story of Mark chapter 4, verses 1 to 20. One day, Jesus was teaching by a lake. Such a large crowd gathered around him that there was no room on the land. He had to get into a boat so that he had enough room to speak to the crowd. And then Jesus told a parable. The parable is a rather simple story. It's the story of a farmer. This farmer walks up and down his field, throwing seeds everywhere so that his crop will begin to grow. The seeds all land on different kind of dirt, and therefore they have different reactions. Some of the seeds fell along a path. This is packed dirt, so the seeds just remained on top. Also, this part of the field is never plowed, which means that those poor seeds were never buried. Meanwhile, birds were flying overhead. They saw the seeds on the ground, all vulnerable. So they swooped down and they snatched them. The seeds never even had a chance at life. Jesus explains that this situation is like people who hear the message about God, but it never becomes part of their lives. It sits on the surface and never changes who the person is. Satan comes along and snatches it away before there is ever a chance of finding the life within the Word. These people are called prodigals because they hear the Word of God, but they end up walking the other direction. Other seeds fell on rocky soil. This wouldn't be dirt with huge, obvious rocks everywhere, but the rocks would be hidden underneath the surface. In the Middle East, it's known that there is lots of limestone hidden just under the dirt, so the dirt will look perfect, but it is hiding a secret that is deadly to the plants. These seeds start to grow in the dirt, and plants shoot up. However, because of the rocks, the roots can't dig deep and the plants are weak. When the sun comes out, the plants wither and die. Jesus says that this situation is like people who hear the truth of God and receive it with great joy. But since they have no roots, they quickly fall away whenever any trouble or hardships come along. These people are called nomads because they haven't settled down. They call themselves followers of Christ and they attend church, but they don't allow it to change who they are. Other seeds fell into dirt which was good. The plants grew up strong and healthy. But then enters the weeds. See, the farmer didn't know that the weeds were going to grow up right there. And by the time the weeds are discovered, it's too late. The weeds grow so strong that they choke the good plants to death. Jesus says that this situation is like people who hear the word of God, but they are unable to apply it because it gets choked out of their lives. They can't stop worrying about life. They are deceived by money. And they desire many other things in this life. These people are exiles. They accept the message of Christ, but they don't live in God's kingdom because they are trapped in the kingdom of the world. They are blinded by all the glitter around them, and instead of serving God, they serve their own desires. Finally, there were other seeds that fell upon good soil that was deep and weedless. They grew into strong plants, and those plants produced even more plants. Some produced a crop 30 times bigger, others 60 times bigger, and still others 100 times bigger. And this situation is like the people who hear the Word of God. They accept it and they apply it so that they can begin to make this world a better place. And that's the story of Mark chapter 4, verses 1 to 20.